I'm Samantha from Riverbend Nature Center. I'm going to teach you guys how to plant a tomato plant. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pull the plant out of the pot like this. We're going to kind of loosen up the roots a little bit, kind of knock some of the soil off the top. And what we're really wanting to do is to knock off the leaves that are down towards the bottom, because we're actually going to put about 2/3 of this down into the soil, and all these little spots that we're taking the leaves from are going to create roots, so it'll have more roots. Some people take them off, some people leave them, but you can really dig pretty deep to plant a tomato plant. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these guys off like this. Alright, so now we're just left with the leaves up at the top part, and they're pretty good and they're going to get enough sun. So these guys, you want to plant them where they're going to get about 6 hours or more of sun per day. It doesn't have to be consecutive throughout the day. In this spot where I'm planting them, it will be sun in the morning and then sun again in the afternoon. So I'm planting in a raised bed here. It's got a mix of soil and leaves and compost, all ready so that it can provide the nutrients for the tomato plant. So I'm going to go ahead and dig this hole. It's going to be pretty deep. Sometimes it's just easier to use your fingers. Dig way deep down. Pretty deep. What I'm going to do, you guys, look. Here's an earthworm. These guys eat all the decomposing waste and are really good for your soil. So I'm gonna put him back in here where he's gonna be okay. And then I'm gonna add some of the top, which has got the compost and the garden soil in it, back into the bottom of the hole. Okay. So now I'm going to take my plant and I'm going to put it down into the hole. And I'm going to bury it in here. We're going to push down around it so it's nice and snug in the ground where it can grow all of its roots. And then what I'm going to do is kind of build up around it, because I don't want any soil to be touching the leaves. These leaves are prone to disease, so we don't want them to get any kind of disease. And then I'm going to kind of make a little moat around it. So when they're watered, the water can go to the lower parts and not sit where it's close to the leaves. Okay, so after we get our plant in the ground, what we're going to do is we're going to water it really well. And some of this is going to overflow into that moat we created, which is fine because that's there to protect the plant. So what do plants need to grow? They need sun, they need water, and they need soil. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is add in a tomato cage. So what this is going to do is allow the plant to grow up and attach to these different rungs along the cage. So we do this now whenever the plant is young, so that it won't, if I try to put it in later, it might damage the roots, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep those roots nice and healthy so that we can have a lot of plant above ground that will grow tomatoes. You got to make sure it's in there really good. This one's a little tough. Make sure that's buried in there really nice. And that's it. You water it every few days, if it's still like it is now, where we're still getting some rain. And then in the summer, we'll start watering it every day. And hopefully it grows big and beautiful and full of tomatoes. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a good one.